NBA basketball. So we're gonna put up some.
Mr. Big Dog.
We're gonna put up some a link where you guys can get with us.
Thanks for joining in the Out of Bounds Sports Show with me, Big Dog J Horn, and Dino Da Vinci Wright.
Holla at your boy.
Let us on the mic. Today we're gonna be talking about sports. We got 2 hours with us. We live. We live right now on Out of Bounds with azsports.com. Go and check us out. We on the Making the World Famous Mobile Barbershop over at 6505 West Park Lane in Plano, Texas. So if you're in the area, you come through. We're going to be on the mic live. We're going to be giving away prizes. We're going to have a little raffle. We're going to be talking about sports. We're going to have a little music. This is going to be a different show. So y'all stay tuned. Get ready. Mr. Big Dog on the one.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen.
Ain't nothing to lose. The night's still young and there's still so much to do. Ooh, and I never felt so cool. I never felt so cool. I'm in my Converse.
For a football team, we're gonna be doing all of their media work. And we also, man, we just got CC's Pizza on Buckner last night. So having a good time, y'all. It's far different than what you've seen, years and years and years, man. Come up with an idea, we sat down, we executed. Have a good time, man. We're gonna be a blessing, and we want y'all to, have fun with this thing. So chime in, hit us up, because after this, got to hit that road, I-45 South, Houston bound. We're gonna do our thing, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, go to our website, hit us up. And if you need marketing for your business, your programs, your projects, website, live commercials, recorded commercials, and magazines. So we're doing a little bit of everything. Not just talking, man. We're not just talking. I'd like to send a special shout out to Big Al, one of our writers. I want to send a shout out to Naja the King Jones. I want to send a shout out to Bernard Beasley. We're growing. So we went from 2 writers to 5 writers. So, hey man, if you have any kind of talent, man, hit us up. We're here to help. Outside of that.
That's right. So we're going to get started. We're going to talk about some sports outside of that. We appreciate everybody that's tuning in on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. It's me and my co-host, Da Vinci Wright. And today, our hot topic today is the college football playoff. That's our hot topic today. So now, the college football rankings came out. I wonder, does everybody agree with the top 4 that they have? Okay. Last week, week before last, let's say, Georgia got drugged. And they were the number 1 team in the nation. They went down to Auburn and took some wood. Now, my thing is, it's going to be a 1-loss team in the top 4. But who do you think actually deserves it? The number 1 team in the nation right now is Alabama, who's been really the number 1 team in the nation for probably the last 5 years. So you probably had already put them at number 1, even though they put Georgia up because Georgia had a pretty good running game. The defense was pitching shutouts, and Alabama was going through the motion a little bit, still trying to find themselves, but they were steady winning games. Number 2 is Clemson. Clemson, our actual defending national champion, of course they're going to be in the top 4. They're playing in the SEC. Clemson is not in the SEC. They're in the
ACC.
ACC. And it's a lot of good teams in the ACC. Virginia Tech, Duke always play pretty tough. But Clemson is a standout team in that conference. And, of course, they're going to go back every year. Number 3 is the Hurricanes. They've been missing in action for probably,
3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years at that. Miami Hurricanes finally put together an undefeated season at 9-0. And they playing some tough teams over there, some big wins over Florida State. And to round it off is the team that everybody's talking about, Oklahoma, with the Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback. I don't think they're really that good, in my opinion.
Okay, check this out. When we talk about number one, man, we're talking about Alabama. Alabama, you have to look at the strength of schedule. Now, with the strength of schedule, they're playing teams, man, that's been knocked out of the top 25. So you have to look at teams that don't have a dominant defense. And Alabama have two of the top backs in the nation. They're number 4 and number 9 in rushing with these two backs. Now, Alabama is a pretty good team, but it's just a fear tactic, man. Everybody's so worried about Alabama, how good they are, and they're saying how good the coach is. It's all about talent, man. Now, I can say this about Nick Saban. Nick Saban is a personnel coach. That's the difference between Nick Saban and everybody else. Now, if you talk about personnel, you go all the way back to Jimmy Johnson. When Jimmy Johnson was with the Cowboys, he put the key players in the right situation. First thing they did, got rid of Herschel Walker. Then they got 13 players from the Vikings for Herschel Walker, and one of them being Darren Woodson. Big up to you, Woody. So he was a personnel coach. He wasn't X's and O's. That's what made Nick Saban better than everybody else in the college ranks. But you got to remember, when Nick Saban was an NFL coach, he couldn't get those established players that's making millions of dollars to buy into his system. Okay, that's the thing with Alabama.
So we look at Alabama's schedule. They played Florida State, who was overranked at the time, at the beginning of the year, at number 3, and they won. So we're going to call that a quality win. They played Fresno State, Colorado State, Vanderbilt, Mississippi, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee, and they smashed all of these teams. Are not even really doing anything. LSU, I could say LSU was the team that on that schedule that probably was the most tough that they had to play. They always play on Mississippi State. They always play them tough every time they go down to Mississippi State. But at 10-0, their resume is really not impressive for them to be the number 1 team in the nation.
Okay, but look at what Alabama did within the last 3 to 4 years, right? What they did was we'll just say last year before last, when Dak was at Mississippi State, Dak took it to Alabama. Why? Because there was no fear. Now, what people fail to realize is how good this team is, man. How good Mississippi State was, but they got quality wins over Alabama, Florida, and Florida State.
Okay, so look at this resume then.
Okay.
Now, Clemson's resume this year, they smashed Kent State. Of course, they were supposed to smash Kent State, but then they played Auburn, who just smashed the number 1 team in the nation, and they beat Auburn 14-6. Then they go back and beat the other Heisman Trophy candidate over Jackson and Louisville. They beat them 47-21. Okay. Then they beat Virginia Tech 31-17. And then North Carolina State. Now, North Carolina State is a team that's been on the road most of the year. But with a 38-31 win over that team, North Carolina State shouldn't be ranked number 20, which they are right now. They should have been in the top 10 all year. So I see 3 quality wins against top 25 teams on Clemson's record, but how is Alabama number 1 and they don't have a quality win against one top 10 team? And I believe that Alabama's going to take a loss when they go down to Auburn.
All right. Okay. Well, check this out. This is how this works, man. When you look at how teams are ranked, you look at the strength of schedule, and then you look at how they travel. Think about how they travel. When Alabama come to town, Alabama come to town. The alumni is strong. Their following is strong, and they bring millions of dollars to the economy. A lot of people look at X's and O's, but you got to look at what they bring. Like, for instance, we was at a college game. We covered a college game a couple of weeks ago, and there was their homecoming. And I've seen more people at the Soto game than it was at this home game. Why? We don't know. But think about the revenue from being at home and playing a homecoming game. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to chime in, man. You see us going live. hit us up. You got a question, even if you have a statement, man, hit us up. Because we're going to be here, man, for the next 2 hours talking about football, basketball, college, and the pros. So if I'm wrong, man, you can tell me I'm wrong, and I can accept it. But I'm going to go with my first mind and tell you what I think. That's why I'm sitting here, and you're not.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in a minute. You're on the Out of Bounds Sports Show with the Big Dog and Da Vinci.
Alabama trash.
I get a feeling that any moment we'll collide. And how about all your dealings? When you're driving out in your car, you take for stealing. Is there any guilt inside that mind? Whoa, lives will change. Take a look at yourself. Your Sarah conscience to how you earn your messed up wealth. Every day is just a pastime. To the day you're in the firing line. Got it up to be there and see you caught in your crime. Whoa, change won't be the It will be too late to see where the roof cuts off the sky. No more power from this hour. You'll be confined until you die. What you did and how you live now. Oh, lies will change. Won't be the same. Lies will change. Won't be.
Most definitely.
All right, y'all, we back.
Yeah, you back.
We back on the show. It's the Big Dog. We got a gentleman. I want y'all to hear what he had to say because it was very interesting that this idea that he had and what he's trying to pinpoint. So we're gonna introduce y'all to Daryl Duval. He's the founder of Power in You. Okay, and we're gonna give him the microphone and let him do his thing because this is what we do on the Out of Bounds Sports Show. We introduce and we reintroduce people that's trying to do positive things in the neighborhood. So Daryl, tell us about your business.
Hey, you know, I got a company called Power in You. You know, my motto is find your why. I have athletes tell their story, and that story in reference basically helps them to take it to the next level. Be it college or pro. You know, my main goal with Power in You is to help these colleges, these players who are not they're not the top 100 players. They're not the top 100, basically in a nutshell, not rated as a top 100. The players that people are not looking at. And the players that help them to basically brand themselves to get them to the next level. Give them the tools, making sure the social media is right. Making sure different, you know, they're basically adjusted to the point of, okay, if I'm looking at this player right here, should I go to this school? Because most of these players that we're looking at, you know, they want to go to D1 school. There are a lot of schools out there. If you really want to play, you got to do what it takes to get to that next point.
That's right.
You know, my